The Iranian regime is in desperation mode and may even be on the brink of collapse. Yes, the regime has been able to cause significant damage to Israel, firing ballistic missiles at Tel Aviv, Haifa, and the Galilee, killing at least 24 Israeli civilians and wounding hundreds more. It is evil and it is tragic, and we ask you to join us in praying for the people of Israel, for God's divine hand of protection over his land. But folks, consider this. There are reports that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is now begging the Arab Gulf states like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Oman to intercede on Iran's behalf with the United States. The Ayatollah, who just last week was vowing to destroy Israel as he rejected President Trump's offer of a nuclear deal, is now desperate for a ceasefire. And it's not hard to see why. In only 5 days, the Israel Defense Forces, through Operation Rising Lion, have destroyed Iran's nuclear facility at Natanz and seriously damaged additional Iranian nuclear sites like the one at Isfahan. Israel has also eliminated no less than 20 top Iranian military commanders and a dozen Iranian nuclear scientists, and it's destroyed some 1/3 of Iran's ballistic missile stockpiles. Again, this is all in just 5 days. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Evil is being held accountable. The Iranian regime, the head of the snake responsible for decades of misery and mayhem across the region, is finally facing consequences for its wicked acts. And by the time the dust settles, we could be looking at a new Middle East with prophetic chess pieces moving all over the board. Over the next hour, we'll be joined live by guests in Washington, D.C. and Israel to break down what's happening now, what comes next, why it matters to you, and how we can pray. We begin, as always, in Jerusalem, where our TBN Israel correspondent Yair Pinto is standing by. Yair, thanks for joining us. I know you've been in and out of bomb shelters the past few days with your family. The sirens have been blaring. Now the Iranian regime is vowing to target Israel with missiles, quote, without interruption. Yair, set the scene for us, what it's like on the ground in Israel right now as this Iranian onslaught continues.
Yes, Eric. So Israel created this multi-layer alert system for the civilian and for all the people that are in the country now. So we get this alarm of get ready for a missile attack in your area within 30 minutes. Then after 30 minutes, we get an alarm within 10 minutes, a missile is imminent in your area. And then the alarm sirens start, and we have 1 minute to seek the bomb shelter. So Israel is really geared up into being close to bomb shelters, being in protected areas, and the whole country is ready for an impact, especially in the central areas of Tel Aviv. And we know that the missiles are penetrating because our defensive systems were not able to intercept 100% of these projectiles from Iran. So they are causing damage, but on top of that, the people need to be alerted and always surrounded and close to a bomb shelter. There are no schools. My kids are back to the Zoom days with the remote learning from the teachers, and only essential work positions are going to their office, such as news, medical, and electricity, food, and stuff that we know from the days of the COVID vaccine regulations here in Israel. And this is in order to protect the nation and the people of Israel from an Iranian strike. This is the feeling of the country at this moment. But saying that, the morale of the people of Israel is very, very high, because we finally see that we are striking the head of the snake and not just fighting the proxies of this huge terror regime in Iran. And we see the successes. We see the stories of the Israeli Mossad successfully targeting the nuclear scientists, the head of the IRGC, their intelligence headquarters in the heart of Tehran. And above all, we see that the Ayatollah regime and the leader of this terrorist regime, Ayatollah Ali Ayatollah Khamenei, is hiding in bomb shelters, in bunkers, because he's afraid of an Israeli strike on him personally. Okay? Israel is basically peeling the layers and destroying the nuclear capabilities of Iran, one bomb, one strike at a time. And we are ready for the help of the United States that we are receiving reports are on the verge of joining us in destroying this evil regime and completely terminating their nuclear program and their ballistic missile program, Eric. Keep us in your prayers, and thank you so much.
From all our TBN viewers for getting up in the middle of the night with us. Your family's been in bomb shelters. Yair, we can't thank you enough. Number two, we've got a quote from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu here. If people think Israel's going to stop, think again. Here's what Bibi said earlier. We will not have a second Holocaust, a nuclear Holocaust. We already had one in the previous century. The Jewish state is not going to have the Holocaust meted out on the Jewish people. It's not going to happen. Never again is now, and we had to act now. So although the Iranian regime is reportedly begging for a ceasefire now, Yair, I think Bibi is committed to finishing the job. And the consequences, if he doesn't, are very dire for Israel and for the free world, I believe.
Yeah, definitely, Eric. I mean, some people say, this is not our war, this is Israel's war. Why do we, the United States or other countries in Europe, need to fight your war? And it's very important to understand that in the Middle East, when somebody is threatening to destroy you, and when I say you, I don't mean Israel, I mean Israel and the United States. Remember, Iran keeps calling Israel the small Satan and the United States the big Satan. They have been funding terror groups that disrupt all the maritime shippings from the east to the west. They are destabilizing this entire region. You don't want to give this sort of regime the strongest weapon that this world has, which is the nuclear bomb. Yeah. So we reached a point that within a few weeks, Iran could have 15 nuclear bombs. Eric, just imagine that one bomb can destroy and take out the whole country of Israel and more than that. Yeah. So within 2 weeks, according to the Israeli estimates, Iran was ready to have 15 of these bombs. So now we had to take matters to our own hand and strike these centrifuges, these nuclear facilities, the scientists. And so far, we have pushed back their nuclear program years of work, years of knowledge, years of equipment was destroyed. The job is not done yet.
No, it's been a stunning operation, Yair, and helpful reminder for everyone watching. Israel is the size of the state of New Jersey. It's that small. So Israel doesn't get second chances here. It must finish the job. Yair, thank you so much. You'll be with us throughout the next 90 minutes with on-the-ground updates from Jerusalem. God bless, my friend. Stay safe. We'll talk to you again shortly. Yair Pinto.
First, look at the blowing force.
Conricus is with us. Jonathan, always great to see you. You and I have been talking about this for years. The coming showdown between Israel and the Iranian regime. The moment of reckoning has now arrived, and the Iranian regime appears to be, and its military machine right now, Jonathan, appears to be in tatters. 1/3 of their ballistic missile launchers eliminated by the IDF. Countless Iranian top military generals. The Natanz nuclear site in ruins. What's your assessment thus far of Operation Rising Lion?
Shalom, Eric, and shalom to everybody watching. Yes, this is not the first and not the 10th time that we speak about it. And of course, this has been in the making for the better part of, I would say, 20 or 25 years. The Islamic Republic of Iran has been waging an indirect and lately direct war against the State of Israel. The Islamic Republic has an official goal to annihilate the State of Israel, or as they refer to it, the Zionist regime, and they were sprinting in order to achieve nuclear weapons capabilities. I don't think that the Iranians will achieve not the destruction of Israel, and not nuclear weapons. What Israel is doing now is disassembling the Iranian regime's ability to project force, but also to project control over Iran itself. Israel has blasted its way and today has aerial superiority in Iranian skies, unprecedented, by the way, in history. No other country has ever done that and achieved that against Iran. And Israeli airplanes are, as we speak, attacking military targets and nuclear targets according to a very well-defined and researched list of targets. You mentioned a few, but as we speak, or an hour ago, Israel expanded the types of targets that it is striking, and it is now striking the television or the propaganda arm of the Iranian regime for the first time. And this is after most of the Supreme Command was taken out. Many key nuclear scientists were taken out. And as I said, air defenses. So this is a historic moment. I don't use that reference lightly, but this is an historic moment. And I really hope that this will lead to stability and prosperity in the Middle East for everyone.
Yeah, Jonathan, well said. I think we are on the verge of a new Middle East. It's ultimately exciting. And just to draw the distinction here, Israel today called for civilians in Tehran, the Iranian capital, to evacuate. Israel goes to great pains to avoid any civilian casualties. On the other hand, Iran, Jonathan, is intentionally targeting Israeli civilian centers. Talk more about that. Iran, again, they are intentionally aiming to kill women and children, civilians.
Volume of Iranian rhetoric and propaganda can convince anybody differently. Israel so far has 28 fatalities, all of them civilian. 590 people have been wounded, almost all of them civilian. And that is, of course, a direct result of massive Iranian missile fire at Israeli cities. The images are unimaginable. You know, you look at the scenes, the impact scenes, entire residential buildings, 7, 8, 10 floor buildings, when they get a direct hit, we've seen them crumble and disintegrate. And that is, of course, because the Iranians are using ballistic missiles. These are objects almost as big as an American school bus. They weigh about a ton and about 500 kilograms of high-level explosives at the tip of each one of them. Now, Israeli air defenses have been very effective, and they've shot out of the sky most of what the Iranians have fired at Israel. Sadly, the Iranians have found a way to kind of overwhelm air defenses and locally in a certain geographic area overwhelm the air defenses and get a few missiles to slip through. But by and large, despite the fact that we have had 24 casualties, the defenses are working. Israel, supported by the U.S., actively supported by the U.S., is defending itself. This is, again, an opportunity for me as an Israeli to express gratitude for the defense collaboration between Israel and the U.S., for the fact that we are using weapon systems that were developed together, Israel and the U.S., and most of it was U.S. funding. And this is tremendously important. And by the way, return on investment, all of the weapon systems are now combat proven, and a lot is modified as we speak. And that's, of course, a great thing for America, because the weapon systems that were built together are now feeding back into the American system as well.
Yeah, great breakdown. And I just keep thinking, Jonathan, these ballistic missiles we're seeing bombard Haifa, Tel Aviv, the Galilee, what if they were nuclear tipped? That was the end game for the Iranian regime. And I think the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, alluded to this earlier this morning. Israel right now is really acting as the first line of defense for all of Western civilization. They're fighting the good fight for the entire free world on the front lines. The end game, I know we're still obviously in the midst of it. There's much work to be done by the IDF. Does the end game look like a complete dismantlement of Iran's nuclear program, a massive dent in its ballistic missile capabilities? There's already reports that Iran, behind the scenes, is scurrying for a ceasefire. What is a satisfying end game for Israel here in this operation?
Yeah, so two parts to that. What I would have liked to hear from the Germans, the French, the Brits, and the Canadians and all other democracies in the world would have been, thank you, Israel. Thank you, Israel. We stand by Israel with no ifs and buts, but we support Israel because you are doing the heavy lifting and the dirty work for the free world. And if we put this into historical context, this will be the third nuclear military program that Israel takes care of in the Middle East that belong to crazy Muslim regimes.
If you want to make passive income online, I'd like to pay you 5 to 10.
Osirak, 2007, Dir Azur, so Iraq and Syria, and now 2025, Iran. No other country has done that, and even though critics around the world will blame Israel for taking aggressive action, this is preemptive action, and this is actually promoting stability and promoting peace and doing a good thing for the world, for the region, and for the world. And I think that Israel should get much better support. Now, endgame, here it becomes interesting because officially Israel speaks about the nuclear program and taking care of an existential threat. I believe that. But I think that there's another end game here beyond the things that you so correctly pointed out, ballistic missiles and their ability to continue to fund terror organizations around the world and in the Middle East. Those are very important targets. But I actually believe that Israel would be very happy to see the Iranian regime go under. I don't think that Israel has the capacity to execute regime change. Iran is a nation of about 100 million. We're less than 10 million. We are about 10 million, and they're far, far away. But I think that Israel would definitely be happy, relieved, and it would favor Israel and the region if the Islamic regime of Iran would indeed be toppled by the Iranian population. Israel isn't operating in order to achieve that yet, but it's clear, and anybody who is a moderate studier of history knows that any non-democratic regime, the enemy number one of any tyrant is first and foremost the people that they oppress. And the Iranian people, as they see the Iranian regime weakened, exposed, vulnerable, and not capable of defending itself against an external force, maybe they will be motivated to reclaim their freedom, reclaim governance, and to get rid of the Islamic regime. That's still in the future, but I think there's a chance that things will go that way.
Yeah, and they are the main victims, the Iranian people, of this evil regime, Jonathan. And people need to know, prior to 1979, that Islamic Revolution, Iran and Israel had a great relationship. We pray that's on the horizon once again. Jonathan Conricus, thank you so much, my friend. Stay safe. God bless you, Jonathan. Great breakdown. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Eric. Shalom.